Telling you right now, guys, my man cheated. He set this up.
Because I felt like on the one side, there was like, I had the
You write presently, folks, my man, Doopty set this up in light of the fact that I felt like, on the one side, it was like I had the foe pushing me to do specific things. And afterward, I had God, and afterward, it was very much like, regardless of what happened, God generally made it right. Devin Haney has quite recently uncovered Ryan Garcia for cheating to win the battle against him, while Ryan Garcia arose successful in the battle. His advertiser, Oscar de la Hoya's overflowing with euphoria, and Pride de la Hoya, as of late took to virtual entertainment to lambast Haney's advertiser, Eddie Hearn. Yet De La Hoya's endeavor to influence popular assessment appeared to boomerang, as fans quickly held a mirror up to Brilliant Kid, uncovering the distinct truth during X's occasion 2 days following the extraordinary session the head of Matchroom Boxing took to Instagram to uncover a contacting experience he had with Haney. Hearn shared a preview, catching the pair secured in a sincere hug following Haney's loss. He subtitled the post, "The street is long. This young fellow will be back more grounded than any time in recent memory." Disregarding this harmless demonstration of support for his rival, Oscar de la Hoya answered stingingly. He remarked on the post, "You clearly never bound up the gloves, very much like Were Ruler. And the rest you don't have the foggiest idea what it resembles to battle inside a ring. Think about what I do." And that beating will keep going for some time. Fans were apparently disappointed when TalkSport proofreader Michael Benson posted a screen capture of the comment made by X yesterday. Thusly, they expeditiously overflowed the remark segment to reprimand De La Hoya for his lead. As situation transpired, specific people couldn't resist the opportunity to bring up the glaring false reverence, while others burned through no time in obtusely reviewing Oscar's own set of experiences with Garcia. In the midst of the conversations, one client wandered into speculation, contemplating resoundingly what Oscar's response may be if Hey Manja were to win over Canelo Alvarez. The client said, "Envision how Oscar will act if Manja beats Canelo. It's actually quite significant that Manja is under the care of Oscar, though Canelo wants his protege headed out in different directions." Following a legitimate argument about agreement terms, obviously the fracture between the previous advertiser and contender stays as tangible. As could be expected, Oscar got a delicate bump from one more client about Garcia's loss to Giovanna Davis. A match he lamented passing up supporting this episode ignited a stewing struggle among Garcia and Oscar, catching the media's consideration for a drawn-out period. This client said, __, revolting way of behaving from Oscar. Did he fail to remember that when Ryan quit against Tank, he wasn't there to help him basically? Eddie sticks by his warriors. The resulting client offered a comparative viewpoint, helping Oscar to remember his past mistake. The fan said Oscar overlooking Garcia versus Tank genuine fast. In any case, Garcia and Oscar have worked out their conflicts and are presently in understanding. Another eyewitness found Oscar's comment about Haney exceptional, going similarly as naming him an unconventional person. Maybe this discernment originates from Garcia's own insight of persevering through a urgent loss on account of Tank Davis. Yet he eventually organized a momentous rebound. The client communicated, "Is he saying Devin can't return? Odd remark, peculiar person." The ensuing individual complimented Hearn's obligation to his contenders, standing out it from analysis guided at Oscar for purportedly neglecting to offer comparable help when Garcia had endured rude against Tank. Amazingly, the break among Garcia and Oscar had raised to the degree that Garcia disallowed Oscar from getting to his storage space during the Oscar tour session towards the finish of last year. The fan said Hearn additionally appeared after his contender lost. De La Hoya and Hopkins appeared just when their contender won. Oscar de la Hoya, who was in the triumphant group, figured out how to lose the blessing of individuals due to his comments on Haney and Hearn. Another fan said, "Brothers Frantic Eddie really sticks behind his contenders, dissimilar to him, who leaves his contenders after a misfortune anyway. The continuous quarrel between Oscar de la Hoya and Eddie Hearn has taken one more turn, with the two advertisers going after one another via virtual entertainment. The pressure appears to come from a cutthroat contention over the U.S. boxing market and their individual victories and disappointments in advancing boxing occasions. Oscar de la Hoya didn't stop here. He went to post one more remark on Eddie Hearn's Instagram post. He expressed Eddie for English confining, simply stay the UK, and advance pass on the genuine advertisers to the US market, where boxing matters you. Had your chance dying countless dollars fabricating nothing in the U.S. Oscar de la Hoya's remark seems, by all accounts, to be an immediate reaction to a few saw disappointments on Eddie Hearn's part in the U.S. boxing scene. De la Hoya proposes that he ought to zero in on advancing in the UK and leave the U.S. market to the individuals who comprehend it better. He likewise attacks Hearn's ways of managing money on advancements, inferring that Hearn squandered countless dollars without accomplishing a lot of as far as building a fruitful and closing advancement, the U.S. anyway. Hearn rushed to answer as he said, Oscar, really are you okay? You tell me like a frenzy fan. You had an incredible success on Saturday at this point. I consume your brain 247 tragically for you. I'm a worldwide advertiser with 18 title holders. You have 4. Eddie Hearn's reaction is quiet yet cutting. He questions De La Hoya's psychological state, recommending that he appears to be fixated on him and his work. Hearn proceeds to feature his own accomplishments, flaunting about having 18 title holders, contrasted with De La Hoya 4. He likewise makes reference to his worldwide designs for advancing boxing and communicates his expectation that De La Hoya can find pleasure in his own work. Hearn added, I have enormous designs to work with everybody to develop the game universally and have some phenomenal ability in the U.S. market. Really want you to enjoy all that life has to offer and trust you can appreciate what you do. The trade between the two advertisers uncovers a more profound contention and maybe some private hostility. Both are competing for predominance in the cutthroat universe of boxing advancement, and their public disagreements are simply one more part in this continuous adventure. It will be fascinating to check whether this conflict of words raises further, or on the other hand, on the off chance that the two players decide to zero in on their own advancements and let their prosperity justify itself with Ryan Garcia, breaking Devin Haney's dash of triumphs hypothesis, whirls around his next target. Might it at some point be Javana Davis and his sights? Regardless of the buzz, the advertiser, Oscar de la Hoya, appears to be tepid about a rematch between these forces to be reckoned with, yet he indicated a pivotal condition for reigniting the competition tank would have to meet specific terms to step once more into the ring. With Lordry following his victory against the Fantasy, Garcia wound up handling various requests in regards to a possible rematch with Tank. Accordingly, he underscored that no matter what Tank's result against Plain Martin in their looming June 15th session, a rematch was not feasible. Why? In light of the fact that Garcia was rising through the weight divisions, he noted, I'm not going to 140. I'm going to 147 in a new media trade. Brilliant boy. Explained that for a likely session among Tank and Garcia to happen now, it would require a catchweight understanding likely around 143 or 144 pounds. Battle publicity recorded him saying, Ryan Garcia, let me know you can't make 140. So he would need to battle at 143 or 144. Better believe it, anyone who needs to battle him, call me at 144.